Good evening, this is Primetime News on UAV Television and Radio 101.7 FM. I am Joseph Adomambu. Let's start with tonight's headlines.
President Bio arrives in Korea ahead of 2024 Korea-Africa Summit. Chairman of the Committee on Appointments in Parliament raises concerns over dangers at Guma Dam.
That one happened at the Leone. It's a joke. That one goes down, it will be a disaster. It will be a catastrophe that we'll never forget in our life.
And Vice President of Liberia, Jeremiah Kong, visits Sierra Leone to learn about government's feed salon agenda. Now for the full news.
President Julius Maada Bio has safely arrived in the Republic of Korea ahead of the 2024 Korea-Africa Summit. The event aims to promote shared growth, sustainability, and solidarity between Korea and Africa. Leaders from both regions, as well as international organizations, will participate in discussions and collaboration. Salifu Chenra Kamara reports.
President Dr. Julius Maada Bio and his entourage, including First Lady Fatima Bio, departed Sierra Leone yesterday to attend the 2024 Korea-Africa Summit, holding from June 4 to 5 at Kintex International Exhibition Center in Asan and Seoul, the capital of South Korea. This summit seeks to discuss collaborative solutions to enhance collective strength and solidarity for sustainable development, focusing on global challenges such as climate change, food security, which aligns with President Bio's Feed Salon program, supply chain stability, and health security. This summit will set a milestone for Korea and Africa's path for shaping a future of sustainable co-prosperity as genuine partners. For the first time, the Republic of Korea is inviting leaders of African nations and related international organizations to the Korea-Africa Summit. Themed The Future We Make Together, Shared Growth, Sustainability, and Solidarity, the 2024 Korea-Africa Summit aims to elevate cooperation between Korea and Africa. The conference will bring together African heads of state, international organizations, and key figures from the Korean government, including South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol. President Bio's presence underscores Sierra Leone's commitment to forging global alliances and advancing shared goals of growth, sustainability, and unity. This will be an opportunity to showcase Sierra Leone's potential for investment. The summit is designed as a comprehensive platform for discussion and engagement on various topics, including business, agriculture, ICT, forestry and desertification, vaccine and health security, tourism, energy, and more. Salifu Charna Kamara, AYV News.
Vice President of Liberia, Jeremiah Kong, who is on a two-day learning in Sierra Leone, has visited PC Agriculture Limited, which operates on 646 hectares, producing oil, onions, maize, and tomatoes, situated in Mathen, Port Loko district. A key aspect of his visit to Sierra Leone is to strengthen cooperations with the Vice President of Sierra Leone, Dr. Julde Jallo, and to learn about government's Feed Sierra Leone agenda, particularly in addressing the issue of malnutrition, which seems to be plowing Liberia. AYV's Emmanuel Boa speaks to Press Secretary to Vice President Kong Raymond Neville.
Sierra Leone's Feed Salon agenda has sparked significant interest among member states in Africa, especially within the sub-region. The agenda aims to reduce hunger and tackle malnutrition in the country. During his two-day visit to Sierra Leone, with delegates of government officials, Vice President of Liberia, Jeremiah Kong held talks with President Bio and Vice President Jules de Jallo on Sierra Leone's progress in the health, education, infrastructure, and industrial sectors, witnessing the efforts being made in agriculture as in the production of onions, maize, tomatoes by PC Agriculture Limited in Mathen, Port Loko District. Press Secretary to the Vice President of Liberia, Richmond Noville, says there is much Liberia can learn from Sierra Leone, especially in the area of agriculture.
I think the major takeaway is the fact that Sierra Leone has done tremendously well in the area of agriculture. Like today, the Vice President was taken to the onion farm, a major farm, and the level of production in Sierra Leone has increased. The Feed Sierra Leone agenda is a very major agenda under this government of His Excellency President Bio. And the Vice President is keen on learning and getting some insight on how Sierra Leone is doing it. Because if we are to address the issue of malnutrition, we have to be keen on the issue of agriculture. Because food production is very important, and malnutrition can never be an issue of history unless the issue of agriculture is handled. So at the center, at the heart of their discussion was how Liberia can ensure that we can prioritize agriculture as well.
Bio's Feed Salon scheme aims to position the private sector to closely work with the smallholder farmers to achieve food self-sufficiency, a public-private partnership strategy that the Liberian government has also recognized in tackling malnutrition in their country.
The issue of the public-private partnership, the PPP, is very important because the government cannot do anything without the involvement of the private sector. Part of the discussions that he had with his counterpart, Vice President Jallo, was to see how we can have private sector actors here crossing over to Liberia and to see what opportunities are there, and how the private sector actors in Liberia can also come here and see what opportunities are also there. So there has to be cross-border interactions, especially in terms of trade and commercialization of activities.
Overwhelmed to receive Vice President Jeremiah Kong on their 646 hectares of farmland, General Manager of PC Agriculture Limited talked about the progress they have made in the area of production and their plans going forward.
In 2010, and we decided that we have good carbon and why not build a refinery in Sierra Leone. In 2019, with an investment around $50 million, we have built the refinery at 9,000 metric ton per month capacity. But we built the refinery, then added the solar factory that you see now, because the byproducts of the CPU refinery are PFAD and stereo used to make the solar. But about 72% is used for the vegetable oil, what we call Leone. So
the exchange of plans and strategies between Liberia and Sierra Leone will not only strengthen their existing relationship, but also foster progress in health, education, and agricultural sectors, ensuring that both countries learn from each other's strengths, weaknesses, and challenges to enhance food security, healthcare access, and educational opportunities. These are vital for sustainable development and prosperity in both nations. Emmanuel Mboa, AYV News, Port Loko District.
Now, Chairman of the Committee on Appointment in Parliament, Honorable Matthew Guma, has drawn the attention of the proposed Chairman of Guma Valley Board of Trustees to alarming danger at the Guma Valley Dam at mile 13. According to him, if urgent action is not taken, potential of imminent catastrophe is evident. He says if the embankment of the dam collapses, lives and properties will be destroyed, just like what happened at Matome years ago. Guma underscored this during a parliamentary vetting of presidential appointees in Committee Room 1. Tony Sawyer reports.
Constructed over 60 years ago, the Guma Dam at mile 13 was to cater for a limited population in the capital, Freetown. The pressure to deliver from a growing population as years roll by has been challenging, especially with massive encroachment at the Guma Dam catchment area.
People do look at it carefully. That one happened at the Leone. It's a joke. That one goes down, it will be be a disaster. It will be a catastrophe that we'll never forget in our life. I'm telling you now. Even by you driving along and spotting it down from the main road, you can see that we are heading for some huge catastrophe. I'm telling you. So what you can do, when you get to office, if approved, you need to do what you can. You need to work with your team.
But what is really happening to the dam?
The problem with Guma Dam is man-made. The dam has been deforested, and there is not, first of all, they have encroached on the catchment area. The streams that used to feed the dam have reduced in volume because of the deforestation. And if we are not careful, when we have a very heavy downpour, it will overflow the dam, and those people who are downstream.
With this happening, proposed chairman Guma Board of Trustees explains the impact.
Just imagine the problem that happened at Motome is a small thing. If that dam collapses, the whole of Hamilton, or Angola, Angotown, the water will just wash them all off. So that is the enmity of it. For let's stop giving bidding permit. Let's stop those who are mining stones around the area. Let's stop those who are felling the trees for charcoal.
With these hordes, what other way out?
It's honestly a serious
That one should have done long since. The damage has already been done. We are just trying now to see how we can stop further damage happening. And since they've started demolition, they should stop giving building permits, asking people to build, and we start planting trees again so that we could get the forest cover around it.
As experts say, depletion of the environment can have a great impact on humans. The ongoing activity at Guma Dam is quite alarming and needs urgent action by authorities. Samuel Tony Sawyer, AYV News, Freetown.
Now, the Minister of Health, Dr. Austin Dembe, has, on behalf of the government of Sierra Leone, received medical equipment and devices from the World Health Organization, funded by the Islamic Development Bank, in order to help strengthen the health sector of the country. Austin Dembe, during his recipient speech, assured WHO and donors of their commitment to ensure these equipment and devices are put into good use. Joseph Adu. Here's the story. The World Health Organization Sierra Leone completed the procurement of essential health supplies to strengthen lab and blood safety program through a grant from the Islamic Development Bank. While handing over these equipment to Sierra Leone's Minister of Health, Austin Dembe, WHO's country representative, Dr. Innocent Nuajira, notes that these equipments are part of their commitment to ensure people become healthier through strengthening further delivery services and improve the country's diagnostics.
These are many laboratory equipment and supplies that we need to hand over to you, sir, so that they can help to strengthen further the delivery of services and improve diagnostics in the country.
The items procured include laboratory analyzers, major equipment, diagnostic kits, and supplies as part of their efforts to strengthen the health system of the country. Delivering his recipient's speech, Dr. Austin Dembe, Minister of Health, assures WHO and donors of their commitment to ensure these equipment and tools are put into good use.
But I will follow up with the staff and ensure that all of these goodwill that we receive from outsiders, we put it to good use.
With the right medical equipment, medical professionals can treat patients efficiently, utilize the right choice of equipment for specific conditions, and ensure faster recovery for the patients and proper diagnostics from the doctor's end. Joseph Adumambu, AYV News, Freetown. Pupils of Kamakoni village and its surrounding in Karine districts have for long been deprived of quality education owing to the lack of proper infrastructure and required facilities needed to enhance learning. Addressing this challenge and in fulfillment of its drive to support access to education, ActionAid Sierra Leone has handed over newly constructed classroom blocks, washroom facilities, and learning materials to the community. Ronald Joe Morovia has more on the story.
Infrastructure remains a major impediment to attaining quality education, especially in rural communities across Sierra Leone. Thus, pupils are forced to sit in an environment that cannot encourage learning. With the intervention of ActionAid through its inclusive and empowering education for sustainable development project, the organization is providing the required environment that can facilitate learning in communities like Kamakuni.
We are just trying to respond to the needs of the community. Definitely, we saw the old building and how the community has struggled over the years. They've constructed the school in one location, it's collapsed. They moved to another, it collapsed. So it's like this is the fourth and final. This is definitely this concrete structure you are seeing. It's one of the best in this area. So for us, we are doing this intervention because we want to create access to education for all children, which is their right, and we also want to see how we can contribute into quality teaching and learning in this community. So this one, it's around 700,000, and it's not only about the building you're seeing. We have other components.
Commending the work of ActionAid in complementing the work of government, Deputy Minister One of Basic and Senior Secondary Education appealed to the community to make good use of the infrastructure.
ActionAid, then they make sure then they come na the interior.
ActionAid activities targets the interior, thus fulfilling the radical inclusion, access and quality with the training of teachers. They are also enhancing equity.
For let them get the same facility for land. Now we don't help so. Let this school, they not spoil them. Let them make them fine.
But how relevant is the new structures to school authorities and parents?
This is a big thing for me.
This is a huge development for us. It is not easy for such developments to come to communities like this. This is a sustainable development. We started the school with a grass structure, but with the help of ActionAid, we now have this structure.
So now they approve, they can approve.
ActionAid, I go talk now.
In the whole of Kaine district, we have not seen any NGO like ActionAid. We are happy for this development.
We appreciate 2 months to waiting ActionAid.
With such structure, pupils in Kamakuni, pupils in Kamakuni and its surrounding are assured of accessing and benefiting from quality education. Ronald Joe Morovia, AYV News.
The Law Reform Commission has, in partnership with UNDP, organized a day consultative meeting with state actors and other stakeholders in the Eastern region on the development of a law on mediation. The meeting was held in the eastern capital of Kenema. This is in a bid to strengthen the rule of law, human rights and security, and to access justice in Sierra Leone. Mauricine Musa Koroma witnessed the event and now reports.
Committee members of the Commission gathered together stakeholders and ordinary citizens to dialogue on the proposed developed mediation law on Tuesday, May 28, 2024, at the Albertson Hotel along Nyandiyama Road in Kenema. Stakeholders across the region were key in the discussion, for the Commission was banking on their inputs. Chairman of the Commission admitted in his statements that the formal justice delivery mechanism is submerged and bogged with endless challenges, but proudly stated that the beauty and positivity surrounding the project are beyond words, showing high optimism for an enriched mediation bill.
The beauty and positive things that this project will bring to the government and the people of Sierra Leone are beyond words. This project will bring joy, happiness, and justice to the people of Sierra Leone. Whether we like it or not, disputes will arise between us and amongst us, in our relationships, trades, communities, neighborhoods, families, etc.
Nancy Diana Sise urged this set of participants for their considerate inputs, calling on all to be prudent.
So we are urging you to give in your all, because we are aware of many who have got the experience on mediation that have been working for you. That is the type of input we want.
After hours of intense deliberations, questions, and presentations, participants were pleased to have their say on the engagement.
For we, mediation
is not new to us, but the only thing that is to be made clear is that as a mediator, you have to be credible. Both parties have to trust you for the job.
from that credibility ground.
Looking at what has been going on in Sierra Leone, especially the delays on court matters, it is really painful to many. You would have a matter in the courts that will cost you hugely to and fro, and your matter is not called, which results to frustration. If at all they accept this, it will become a very big relief for us.
These crop experience participants believe that the reformation of law on mediation would address the perennial practices of laws in societies. Maurice Musa Koroma, AYV News, Kenema, Eastern Sierra Leone.
The Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs, Ambassador Tamba Lamina, says they have almost completed the fiscal decentralization policy, which, according to him, is the backbone of moving the responsibilities and funds down to the localities so that they could be more empowered in this devolution process rather than everything being done in Freetown. He made this disclosure while speaking on AYV's Wake Up Sierra Leone breakfast show. Bintu Koroma will now report.
In order to empower citizens with a strong sense of community spirit and ownership, foster an environment that is favorable to participation, and serve as a liaison between the public and other government agencies, the Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs supports citizen-led local governance. According to the Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs, Ambassador Tamba Lamina, they have almost completed the fiscal decentralization policy, which, according to him, is the backbone of moving the responsibilities and funds down to the localities so that they could be more empowered in this devolution process rather than everything being done in Freetown.
So we've come a long way, but obviously we've still got a long way to go.